Dan, how are we doing tonight? We are back on the Blitz angle. My name is Ryan Linkletter. I'm here with Dan Loya. We are talking Eagles and Giants reactions. And Dan, can I just say this? The NFL over the course of the 2025 season has been completely unpredictable. Whether it is fantasy football guys being really good and tough matchups, whether that is the New York Giants destroying the Philadelphia Eagles, winning by 17 points on Thursday Night Football. One thing is clear: the gap between the elite teams and the average teams in the NFL is not as big as it has been over the last decade. Let's talk about this game here. Dan, what is your initial thoughts here after the Eagles 17 point loss against the New York Giants?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. I mean, these Thursday night games, we talked about in the preview. I think the NFL's got something here. Divisional matchups on a short week. You just never know. You can do all this research, watch film, all that stuff, but yeah, man, these Thursday night games, you just never know. And the Giants showed up to play today. Jackson Dart, I think my main takeaway is Jackson Dart played incredible. He was able to run. It seemed like Fangio didn't expect him to run like that much. He's quick, man, and they didn't spy him. He was just fantastic. I think my thing I wrote is just the Eagles couldn't get off the field on third down. In the third quarter, they were 9 for 12, and one of those was Russell Wilson. He missed an opportunity on 3rd and 9. So Dart in that third quarter, up to that point was 9 for 11, 83%. So it just seemed like the Eagles just could not get off the field when it matters most, and it's the NFL, man. I mean, just like you said, parity. These teams are the Eagles have got talent, and we're gonna discuss it. But the just Jackson Dart played incredible tonight, and they showed up to play. So it's just huge win on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, man, it was very surprising kind of how this game went. I think we talked about it too. I thought the Giants were going to cover in this matchup. I didn't expect them to actually win this ball game, but credit to what Brian Dable, Mike Kafka, and that Giants offensive coaching staff has done with Jackson Dart at quarterback. They have made things very easy on him, and he's processing the field a lot better than he did in college. My biggest gripe with Dart as a prospect is that after his first read, he kind of fell apart in terms of his processing of the field, made a lot of bad decisions. Right now in New York, he's making a lot of good decisions. He's getting the ball out on time within the offense, and they're also supporting him well with Cam Scatterbo. And the biggest thing that I watch when taking a look at Jackson Dart is when he's improvising and he's trying to make plays with his legs, his eyes are still down the field and he's still trying to look and see if he has a guy open. That is a key sign for me that Dart is going to be a successful option long term for this Giants team because he is a good thrower of the football. He's not just like a player that came in with his legs and has to develop his arm. I mean, the arm strength is there. This guy's throwing on the run to receivers in stride. His ball placement is incredibly good for a rookie. He has a lot of positives that make it, even really hard for Vic Fangio to game plan. And obviously, once Dart gets more tape on him, it's going to be easier to game plan against him. But right now, it is a matchup nightmare for a coach coming in. You have to stop a bruiser in Cam Scatterbo, who might not be the most effective and efficient guy in terms of, his yards per carry, his yards after contact, stuff like that. Well, he's a player that's going to bruise over the course of the game. He scored 3 touchdowns tonight. He's going to be really strong around the goal line. Also, really good out of the backfield there. And they also had a great game plan, mixing in a makeshift group of receivers without Malik Neighbors. Can you imagine this offense next year when Malik Neighbors is healthy, another draft class here in New York? The future is incredibly bright with Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart as this team's first 2 picks. And I've been saying it since the NFL draft this past year is that the Giants went all in on trying to add two incredibly talented players at the two most important positions, and it's paying off. On the defensive side of the ball, we saw their edge rushers do just enough to throw the Eagles off and get off the field on third down and force a lot of 3-and-outs during this game. Dan, we talked about it. They had weaknesses in the secondary. They had weaknesses in the front seven in the run game, but those didn't matter because their edge rushers came up big when they needed
They're
to.
elite.
And Brian Burns genuinely has a strong argument for Defensive Player of the Year the way he's been playing in 2025. Let's flip to that side of the ball and the Eagles' struggles on the offensive side. What are you seeing right now from this Eagles team that they just can't get over the hump?
Yeah, well, just let's start out with the Giants. I mean, they came into this game, they're fourth in the NFL in pressures. So just like we talked about, they play behind the sticks, which the Eagles did. it was gonna be a long night for Jalen Hurts. They gotta play ahead. They just the offensive passing game is out of sync right now. Jalen Hurts looks uncomfortable, and, tonight they're 1 for 9 on 3rd downs. You're not gonna win this league 1 for 9, I don't care who you play. So and the Giants were 11 for 16. They couldn't the Eagles couldn't stop them when the Giants had the ball. So, yeah, the Eagles, they're just right now, they have the guys. They have great receivers, but something's not clicking. Their passing game's just not working right now. Jalen Hurts, I mean, I think one of the big, turning points in the game was, right out of halftime. The Giants went 3 and out. Eagles got the ball, and, Jalen Hurts, I believe it was 3rd down, he missed, Devontae Smith wide open on the left sideline, and,
Yeah,
that could have
wide
been a huge
open. That's an easy
and
touchdown.
yeah, it looked like, 'cause it looked like it was a little behind, Devontae Smith, so underthrown, I guess. But yeah, it was a
No,
bad throw. I
it was
mean, it's a layup.
overthrown and to the left.
Yeah, it looked like yeah, it wasn't on, his path. He was
Yeah.
veering off to the sideline. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just that Jalen Hurts, he's gotta hit that. It's a layup, and you never know, he could Smith might have scored, but ever since that point, Giants never looked back, and they took control of the game. So, yeah, that Eagles offense, well, Saquon came out of the chute hot. He had, 56 rush yards at half, and I don't know what he finished with. The last I checked was, I think, 58. But yeah, they're just right now, they're not a team right now that can just come back from if but like we talked about, if they went air raid, they weren't going to win. The Giants have too many elite pass rushers, and it's just not clicking right now for Philadelphia.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed too is you kind of mentioned that run game. First half, 17 points, or I don't know exactly how many they had in the first half. I think they had, I don't know off the top of my head, but like it was clear that they were moving the ball in the first half
Yeah,
offensively.
yeah, it's
Saquon,
20. It
Saquon,
was 2017 at half.
yeah, 2017. So I was right there. They were moving the ball in the first half, and you know why? Because they were running the ball effectively. This whole offense relies on a strong running game to open up everything in the passing game. And Kevin Patullo is doing a really bad job of scheming stuff up in the passing game, and the running game concepts are just not very good in Philadelphia right now. And when the running game was working, they scored 17 points. They were able to negate the Giants' pass rush, and the offense was working well. A.J. Brown was getting the ball. Devonta Smith had a few catches mixed in. Dallas Goddard had an incredibly good game in the first half, had some big catches in the second half, too. But everything was working like it should for Philadelphia. In the second half, Saquon Barkley does not get going. This team becomes one dimensional, and you can't win with Jalen Hurts as your quarterback very often when your team becomes one dimensional. I know a lot of people are going to argue with me with that point, but that is who Jalen Hurts is. I think he's a solid player. I think that you can win Super Bowls with Jalen Hurts. We've obviously seen that last year, and I do think he plays well in the biggest moments, but he is not a player that can straight up elevate a team and go win a game like some of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL, and even the guy he potentially played against on the sideline of Jaxson Dart, where he has that ability to completely change a game. With Jalen Hurts, he needs to be playing ahead of schedule. And the Philadelphia Eagles, if they cannot get this ground game going, their passing game is never going to get going as well. So it begs the question, Dan, what is next for the Philadelphia Eagles here right now? After it's been 6 weeks, everybody's like, "Oh, the Eagles will be fine. They were 4-0. The Eagles will be okay." Now it's their 4-2, two straight losses. This offense has not shown very much progress throughout the season. What are your thoughts on Philadelphia?
Yeah, it just the offense concerns me. It concerned me opening night against Dallas Cowboys. We all knew their defense wasn't very good, and they only put up 24 points. So there's something they got to go back to the lab. They have 10 days till their next game. They just have to figure something up. They got to scheme a better offensive game plan passing wise because it's just not clicking. Jalen Hurts looks uncomfortable. He doesn't look like the same guy as last year. They miss Kellen Moore obviously. He's the head coach of
Yeah.
New Orleans Saints. So they just gotta go back to the lab, scout themselves, and figure something out. But just like you said, the offense has to rely on Saquon Barkley. They they have to have get him going, and then it just open everything up. And yeah, he finished the night 12 carries, 58 yards. And I'm just looking at the playlist after Jalen Hurts missed that throw to Devontae Smith. The Giants went on a 9 play, 56-yard drive. They ended up going up 10 points. So that next drive, when Philadelphia got the ball, it was pass, scramble, sack, and then they punted, and then the Giants didn't look back. So it's just they can't play from behind right now. They just cannot. They're not giving Barkley the ball, and that that's it, man. It just they're not built right now. Well, they are built, but their just scheme is terrible right
Oh,
now. Just
they're built
nothing's
for
open.
sure. This roster is
Yeah, yeah,
talented.
yeah. Yeah, they're talented. It's just it's very frustrating because they should never lose. They shouldn't even lose, but
No, they
they
shouldn't.
just
I mean,
something's not clicking right now. It's
the
amazing.
roster that they put together the last 2 years is one of the most talented rosters we've seen in NFL history. And obviously, last year everything worked out perfect for them. They won a Super Bowl, and this year it's a new offensive coordinator at the helm. Vic Fangio still on the defense side of the ball. The defense still looks pretty good this year, but on offense, it's been a complete shift. And this is kind of what happens when you have a head coach that doesn't specialize in offense or defense and doesn't do anything in terms of play calling. He kind of manages the team. You basically play offensive coordinator roulette when your offense coordinator has a Super Bowl or a really good season. They saw with Shane
Yeah,
Steichen, he's now with the Colts. Kellen Moore is now with the Saints. You play offense coordinator roulette, you get a guy in there, he's not very good, and this is the product you get offensively. So it's like when you have a head coach that is limited in what he can do, this is the type of risk that you take with having a head coach like that. And that's why so many teams are going offensive minded head coaches because they're so hard to replace when you find a really good one. And that's why you see a guy like Andy Reid, who's had success throughout his entire career, wherever he's been. Kyle Shanahan can win with basically guys off the street at receiver. Those elite offensive coaches find ways to put players in successful positions to succeed. I can't say the same thing about Kevin Patullo right now in Philadelphia with the talent that he has, not putting these guys in a strong position to succeed. Now, I don't think he's a guy that gets fired this week, but I genuinely think that if the Philadelphia Eagles are going to find success this season, I don't think it's through Kevin Patullo as their offense coordinator. Now, I don't know if they ride that out through the entire year, but I think that Kevin Patullo has to look himself in the mirror and find a way to make changes to this team, or it is going to be a very short and abrupt season for the Philadelphia Eagles. This division is no joke. The Dallas Cowboys are 2-2-1. They're not necessarily out of the race. The Commanders have shown a lot of life in the past few weeks, and Jaden Daniels is healthy. This team is only going to get healthier. So and then I'm not going to completely discount the Giants, but they're 2-4. But the Eagles definitely have their work cut out for them, and it is going to be very hard. I will say on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of people are going to be talking about the concerns there. I'm not super concerned. Quinion Mitchell got hurt in this game. We'll see how long his timetable could be. Jalen Carter missing on this defense
it's a big one.
completely
Yeah,
changes everything for them. The games he's missed, the defense has looked significantly worse. He is their best player on the defensive side of the ball, and they need him healthy if they are going to be successful. So him missing tonight was a big key in why the defense struggled. But Dan, let's talk about the winning team tonight, the New York
yeah.
Giants. And this future is incredibly bright. Now, I don't think they're going to compete for a playoff spot just yet this year. I think they'll have some growing pains still. What's so exciting about this New York team right now?
Just like we talked about, yeah, their quarterback, man. Their quarterback can run. He's a runner, and these I think these teams underestimate him. Heading into the game, he was like one of four quarterbacks to rush for 50 plus yards in his first two games. It was the quarterbacks
One
were
of three now with
compared
50
to.
yards in three straight games.
Yeah, so what is it? What is it now? Josh Allen and Lamar,
It's
or Lamar and Hurts.
Jalen Hurts and
They
Lamar
said it on the.
Jackson.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a good list. He can run, and these teams got to prepare for him. And it just since he can run, he's mobile. Uh, it's gonna be harder to defend. You got to respect him. It's gonna open up more running lanes, and it's gonna open up the passing game. It's just gonna be harder to defend for these NFL defenses. What I do worry about though is he's not as I don't agree with like in the fourth quarter, Dayball started running him like he was Josh Allen. He's not built like Josh Allen,
He's
and
not built
he's
like
gonna get
Josh
hurt.
Allen.
No, he's 6'2". I got it. He's 6'2". Josh Allen's is 6'5". He's bigger. Josh Allen's bigger than a lot of defensive linemen out there. So he's completely different body type. So Daboll's got to be careful. I know at one point yeah, I'm blanking on his name. Whatever. Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart. He got hurt at one point because he took a his
He's
knee
gotten
hit
hurt
off
two
a.
times in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's like you got to be careful. Don't just if you get a first down, just run. Take a slide. Don't take any unnecessary hits because your career is gonna end sooner than expected. So other than that, though, I think he looked sharp. He made some big plays on third down. The one I believe it was in the third quarter. I mean, the anticipation on that route to
You know who that
Theo
looked
Johnson
like?
was incredible. What? Didn't he jump too? He jumped. He didn't even like he wasn't even planted.
Dude, it
Who
was
did it look like?
Mahomey. It was very Mahomey-esque.
Oh
He
my god.
literally what do you mean? He escaped 2 guys within the pass rush and then rolled out and made a dot. Like, that's literally what we see
Oh,
from Mahomes, like, every week.
well, yeah, wasn't he? I'm talking about the one he was in the pocket. It looked like he jumped. It was
Oh, yeah, the
I believe it
jump.
was
Oh, yeah, that's a
yeah. I was like, holy.
that was
I was like,
butter. That
damn.
was a very nice throw. But
I was like, dang, this guy's incredible tonight. Yeah, he played awesome, and just like we talked about, they got a quarterback now, and they have pass rushers. They got Brian
and
Burns,
and
Abdul Carter
they got that
as
guy
well.
at running back, Cam Skattebo, was
Look at that
been
guy,
absolutely
Scattaboo.
electric out of the
Runs
backfield.
hard, man.
I mean, he's the guy that brings the juice. Like I said, he's not a flashy player. He's not by any means going to analytically jump off the charts to you. He's going to, average around close to 4 yards per carry, but he's going to bruise the defense over the course of the game. He's really strong around the goal line. He's an energy bringer for sure. I don't know how long he'll last in
Definitely.
the NFL with his playing style, but right now with this Giants team, just team in general needs is juice. Jaxson Dart brings juice. Cam Skattebo brings juice. Right, that has completely rejuvenated this team. You look at Brian Dable on the sidelines; it looks like a completely different coach when Russell Wilson versus Jaxson
Yeah,
Dart's out there.
I
For
know,
you Giants fans, Russell
dude.
Wilson skips all in on a third down play, and they're booing him, and then Jaxson Dart just walks on the field, and they're all cheering him. I mean,
But
that's
was
the kind
Dayball
of
yelling
energy.
at the doctor? Is
Yeah, he
that
was yelling at
was
the
that what's
doctor
going
because
on?
he wouldn't clear him in time for third down. That's
That
how
was
little he
ridiculous.
Russell Wilson. But think about that. They don't trust Jameis Winston even enough to consider him in that
Amazing.
situation. They're so pissed at Russell
Yeah,
Wilson. So it's a very fascinating situation. But anytime you draft a key player at quarterback or edge rusher in the same draft and both of them look good in their rookie seasons, you have to feel really good as a Giants fan. And I think this might have saved Dable's job for another
yeah. I was
season.
gonna say, yep.
I mean, like, I don't know how I feel about Brian Dable long term for New York, but
Well,
with what they're
he's
doing
safe
right
right
now,
now. Yeah.
what they're doing right now, it looks pretty good. And I think if they win around 7 games, have a good offseason, free agency, add a few more pieces along the offensive line, maybe another receiver, some guys on defense through the draft, this team could be in a really strong spot, to compete for that division title, depending on how they improve this roster. I think like the biggest thing though is like adding a cornerback, adding another safety alongside Javon Holland
Yeah.
would be really nice for this team. Is you got to build around that rookie contract for Jaxson Dart. But any last comments on this matchup before we end the show?
Just real quick. Even last week, they turned the ball over way too many times against the Saints. They
5 straight drives.
without. Yeah, exactly. So tonight they played clean football, and I believe they won the turnover battle because Hurts threw that pick,
They did.
AJ Dillon fumbled. So yeah, so I believe that's probably the first time this year because their turnover differential was terrible heading into the game. I do have that somewhere. Yeah, they're a minus 5 in turnover differential, 28th in the league. So they just got to clean that up. And but with Jaxson Dart, man, they're 2-1, 2-1, looking sharp. This offense looks completely different, and yeah, watch out because once they get a lead, those pass rushers are coming. So it's gonna be a fun team to watch all year.
Pause. But yeah, hey, listen, we really appreciate you guys tuning into the Blitz angle tonight. Make sure you drop a comment down below how you think the Eagles are going to finish out this year or how you think the Giants' future is looking with Jaxson Dart at quarterback. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Blitz angle content. And me and Dan will catch you guys next time.